Hello and welcome to the audio tour of Washington, D.C. I'm your host, George Cloakababa. And for plot purposes, I'm going to assume that you're near something square, Washington, D.C. And to your left, or to your right, you can see a statue of the one and only Andrew Jackson. He was the 7th President of the United States. It is here to honor and remind us of our 7th President, Andrew Jackson, who won the wars, paid off the national debt, and proudly does deserve his very own statue.
Fake news!
What?
Get out of the chair.
Who are you?
Get out of the chair. I'm tired of your fake news!
No, it's my job.
Get over here!
What are you? What are you?
What are you doing? No!
So, technical difficulties. As you can see, Andrew Jackson's statue remains where it is today, always, in Lotte Square, Washington, D.C. Here to honor Andrew Jackson for what he did for the nation. Many things he did. But! Guess what? He was a butt face. He wasn't a good person. Don't you turn off the audio play, because we're still going here, buddy. Alright? Your little buddy over here, he was stupid. I'm the one saying the truth, not about the
fake news.
Alright? And trust me when I say this, Andrew Jackson does not deserve to have his own statue here. Alright? You may say, but Andrew Jackson, he did so much. He paid off the national debt. He killed millions, thousands, and so much more. You know, I'm just gonna read off history. You know, let me grab my big book of poop wagons. Oh, Andrew Jackson's right there. You wanna know what he did? All right, let's say this thing, man. Listen, we all know Andrew Jackson was he came from a bad place, but doesn't mean he has to be bad and sincerely. All right, think about this. All right, you know the Battle of Horseshoe Bend? Yeah, I know, terrible name, but still. Standing with the Native Americans, they helped him win. They helped him win the war, alright? And you wanna know what he did in return? I bet you don't. I bet you don't even know how to Google that. Yeah, he freaking double-crossed them. He forced them to sign a treaty that basically said that America could steal their land. He took half of their land. After everything they did for him, he takes his land to add to America, because he was selfish. Alright. Evidence number 2. Okay, I'm a judge now. Let's play Ding Dong Ditch. Who is it? Andrew? Andrew who? Andrew Jackson's a terrible person? Yup, that's right. Andrew Jackson adopted a son that was, keep in mind, a Native American. Alright? Sure, he gave him a home and treated him like his own, like his little own personal kid, you know? He treated him well. But the only reason he did that was to improve his public image and publicity to the public. Yes, the Republics. And if it wasn't for his image needed to be improved, he wouldn't give 2 Cinco bombs about him. He would freaking, I don't know, disown him. Yeah, if that's a thing. He would definitely do that. Trust me. Oh, and finally, okay, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, more like Mr. Waxman, because he's so whack. Because of him being ruthless and selfish, he enforced a law called the Indian Removal Law. You remember wondering what that means? Well, I'm gonna tell you, alright? He forced the Indians to move from east to west because they wanted land and they were selfish. Now keep in mind, the idea for this was always in the back of the heads of Americanos. But he, my friend, he's the one that acted on it. And his actions had consequences. And it led to the thing called the Trail of Tears. Oh, You may be wondering, why are there tears? This act forced natives to walk 500 miles on foot with barely any brakes. This caused the death of thousands of natives, alright? Dying from disease, hunger, and abuse, and more, but that's like the main cause of them. All that blood, all that bloodshed, all that ghoulie, it's all in Mr. Jackson's hands, alright? Alright? Now, I know, you're just waiting for this statue to be turned down, because I just proved to you how Andrew Jackson does not deserve his own statue, alright? He doesn't deserve it, because he was terrible, alright? He also killed a man in a duel, alright? Oh, you know his wife? Oh, he took another man's wife, even though it was kind of an abusive relationship. But still, you don't take another man's wife, alright? Now, let's get back to the other fake news. George Washington. What the heck?
DCPD, you're under arrest for breaking and entering to an
No, you can't hide me. You can't hide the truth. I'm gonna keep doing this.
Sir,
What are you doing?
Sir,
Don't get one
down
step
on the
closer.
ground.
Get
Sir,
away!
down
Get up!
on the ground.
Ah!
Right here.
No!
Sir,
No!
don't make this harder than it needs to be. Sir,
This
sir,
is-
stop.
this
Sir,
is oppression.
sir,
God.
sir, stop.
Rape.
Sir, this isn't rape.
Rape.
I'm just handling it.
Oppression.
Sir,
Rape.
get on the ground. Give me your hand. I'm putting the hand.
Oppression.
How is
How?
this oppression?
How?
Sir,
He's abusing
stop,
his
stop.
power.
Back up, back
My
up,
right.
back up.
I'm
We
going
need back
to
up.
help my
Help.
rights.
Back
I'm
up.
telling
Stop,
my
stop
rights.
resisting. Sir,